So we all like to welcome Radhe Sham here to Nugaloka. He's from New Taliban. New Taliban. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oops. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihagute Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihagute Gopi Janabadaba Giribadadati Gopi Janabadaba Giribadadati Yasuranandana Prajajanurandana Yasuranandana Prajajanurandana Jamunatira Banachari Yamunatira Banachari Jaya Ranumadhuva Kunabihati Jaya Radhumadhuva Kunabihati Gopi Radhavadabha Yidivadudhagati Gopi Radhamadabha Yidivadudhagati Yasudanandana Brajajanandana Yasudanandana Brajajanandana. Thank you. Jamunatira Banachari Yamunatira Banachari Jaya Ranumadhuva Kunabihati Jaya Ranumadhuva Kunda Bihati. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravatikacharya also Satishi Shimad, His Divine Grace. Abhaya Charananda Bhaktivedanta Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shidwaita Gadadha Shivasati Gaur Bhaktavinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radhakrishna Gopi Govardhan Shai Mukunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavanam Ki Jai. Mathuram Ki Jai. Jagadada Sami Ki Jai. Yamuna Mai Ki Jai. Shivadi Lasi Devi Ki Jai. Samveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Gaur Pragadanda Hari Hari Bol. All glorious to the assembled devotees. All glorious the assembled devotees. All glorious the assembled devotees. All glorious to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Vastai Bhutale. Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Chinamani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pachani Nivasesha Srinivadi Pashtatate. So today we are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 74th chapter, text 3. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay. Sa Bhavan Aravindaksho Dinanam Isha Maninam Date Anushasanam Bhumams Tad Adyanta Vidamvanam Sabhavanaravindaksho Dinanam Ishamanidham Datenushasanam Bhumams Tadatyanta Vidambanam Sabhavanaravindaksho Dinanam Ishamanidham Datenushasanam Bhumams Tadatyanta Vidambanam Sabhavanaravindaksho Dinanam Ishamanidham Datenushasanam Bhumams Tadatyanta Vidambanam. Okay. Atyanta. Ladies? Okay. Sa he. Bhavan, yourself. Arvinda Aksha, the lotus-eyed Lord. Dinanang, of those who are wretched. Isha, rulers. Manandam, who presume themselves. Date, takes upon himself. Anushashanam, the order. Bhuman, all-pervading one. Tat, that. Atyanta, extreme. Vidampanam, pretense. Translation: that you, the lotus-eyed Supreme Lord, accept the orders of wretched fools who presume themselves rulers is a great pretense on your part, O all-pervading one. You can repeat that you, the lotus-eyed Supreme Lord, accept the orders of wretched fools who presume themselves rulers is a great pretense on your part, all-pervading one. So there is a purport to this verse by the followers of His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. He quotes from Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada writes, Yudhisthira said, O Krishna, you are unlimited, and although we sometimes think of ourselves as royal kings and rulers of the world and become puffed up over our paltry positions, we are very poor in heart. Actually, we are fit to be punished by you. But the wonder is that instead of punishing us, you so kindly and mercifully accept our orders and carry them out properly. Others are very surprised that your lordship can play the part of an ordinary human. But we can understand that you're performing these activities just like a dramatic artist. And we will read the commentaries of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Jiva Goswami. That you saw accept the orders of us low persons is certainly a disgrace for us, atyanta vidambanam. People will mock us for making the Supreme Lord our order carrier. And Jiva Goswami states, you protect or accept with reverence the orders of us who are worthless or suffer greatly and consider ourselves controllers. O lotus-eyed Lord, he calls out with prema on realizing Krishna's compassion, beauty, and sweetness. O Lord, with continual powers, Bhuman, he calls out to nourish his praise of Krishna. We consider accepting our orders to be an imitation, the laughing stock of the people, since you should not do this, or it is not proper to do completely. So again, the verse. Sabhavan harvindaksho dinanam hishamhaninam tatenu shashanam bhumams tadadyanta vidam banam. So omagana timiranda shah gananjana shlakya chakshur unmeditam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So we already read part of Srila Prabhupada's Krishna book, so there's a little bit more in the Krishna book that I want to continue. Actually, that part was in the purport written by the followers of Srila Prabhupada, but We are very much surprised that your lordship can play the part of an ordinary human being. We can understand that you're performing these activities just like a dramatic actor. Your real position is always exalted, exactly like that of the sun, which always remains at the same temperature during both the time of its rising and time of its setting. Although we feel the difference in temperature between the rising and setting sun, the temperature of the sun never changes. You are always transcendently equipoised, neither pleased nor disturbed by any condition of material affairs. You are the Supreme Brahman, the personality of Godhead, and for you there are no relativities. My dear Madhava, you are never defeated by anyone. Material distinctions, this is me, this is you, this is mine, this is yours, are all conspicuous by dint of their absence in you. Such distinctions are visible in the lives of everyone, even in the animals, but pure devotees are freed from these false distinctions. Since these distinctions are absent in your devotees, they cannot possibly be present in you. So, the particular context of this verse is right after we saw that this demon, Jarasandha, was killed and the kings were rescued, and right before the Rajasuya sacrifice. And Yudhisthira Maharaj is basically awestruck. So he sees that Krishna is standing before him. Krishna is his counselor, his cousin, and even acts in a subordinate way to him. And we see many times when Krishna meets the Pandavas, he interacts with them in general etiquette ways. General etiquette ways means the older Pandavas, that is Yudhisthira Maharaj and Bhimsen, he offers obeisances to. And the Pandavas of the same age, he embraces, that is Arjuna. And Nakula and Sahadev, he gives them blessings or they touch his feet. So you see Krishna setting a really amazing example. This is one thing that's not dealt with so much in this particular section of the Bhagavatam. As Krishna says in the Gita, yad yad acharati shreshtas tat tat eveturo janaha. That as great personalities, and certainly Krishna is a great personality, there's no doubt about that, act, all the world pursues or follows that particular example. So Krishna is setting an example. I often talk about how Krishna, as soon as he leaves Vrindavan, he pretty much sets a good example. And in Vrindavan, his example is a little bit difficult to understand. Obviously, we don't dance with gopis, we don't steal butter from people's homes. At least I don't. We don't urinate on other people's floors like Krishna did. We don't. Anyway, you understand. I can go through the whole thing of what Krishna does. And that's not a good example for us. Of course, he sets a good example of what it means to be God. But outside, he acts more like an ordinary person. Of course, in Vrindavan, sometimes he acts like an ordinary person, being afraid of Yashoda Mai. But generally, the example we see that Krishna sets in Vrindavan is not one for us. So, there's an interesting word here in the Sanskrit, vidambanam, which means Krishna is basically acting as a dramatic actor in spite of being the Lord of all. And it's interesting, there's many instances, vidam-badam, that occur throughout the Lord's pastimes. Another example of this, of course, is Krishna, even though he's feared by fear personified, being afraid of Mother Yashoda's stick as she's running after him, the Damodar pastimes. And another one is later on in this particular section of the Bhagavatam, where Krishna is actually washing the feet of all the guests at the Rajasuya sacrifice. So it's very, very interesting how Krishna assumes that particular role. And of course, we do understand that Krishna is enjoying this very much, as we've often spoken before, that whenever Krishna does anything, the motivation for his doing it, of course, it's compassion, but also it's enjoyment. He's enjoying taking a subservient position, particularly in relationship to his devotees. Of course, you may ask, why did Krishna take a subservient position when he was washing the feet of all the people the Rajasuya sacrifice? Because not everybody who was attending the Rajasuya sacrifice was his devotee. Well, he was serving Yudhisthira Maharaj. And actually, Yudhisthira Maharaj arranged the Rajasuya sacrifice to glorify Krishna. That was his internal motivation. So anyway, so getting back to another point in this verse, the word used is Isha Mana. That means the symptom of a false controller. And Yudhisthira Maharaj refers to himself as Dinanam Ishamaninam. That means fallen person who assumes himself to be great or to be a ruler, or has false pride. And of course, this occurs quite often with people who have positions, or people not only have positions, people have wealth, people have beauty, people have intelligence. As Queen Kunti says, Janmaishvarya Shutasha Shibiredamana Adat Puman. Someone who has any of these opulences that the Lord is lending, because actually Krishna owns the opulences, as mentioned in the Isopanishad, that Ishavashamidam Sarvam Yad Kuncha Jagajam Jagat Tena Jiktena Bunjara Magriha Kashas Vijanam. Everything is owned and controlled by the Lord, and the Lord is actually lending these opulences to other people. So if one has fame, you can go over the 6 opulences, one who has fame, one who has beauty, one who's renounced. Actually, I find that myself even, that I become very proud of my renunciation. Like recently I was in New Orleans, and they gave me a really thick bed to sleep on, thick mattress, like about this thick, Princess and the Pea type of stuff. So I said, I don't want to sleep on this bed for my back. So I slept on the floor, which I do sometimes. I have no problem with that. But the interesting thing is, I made sure I told everybody about it. Not so they would feel sorry for me, so they would think, oh, what a nice sannyasi. Isn't it? Or sometimes with my diet, which I follow for a particular reason, eating once a day, ketogenic, etc. I brag about my diet. So there's that tendency, isn't it? Like sannyasi becomes very proud, or just like, this is interesting. Devotees, I'm not going to get into it. This is criticism of Vaishnavas. No, don't do that. So, anyway, so sannyasis, sometimes, all right, I'll just hint at it. Sometimes sannyasis dress in a certain way, very fancy way. I'm not talking about earrings like Lord Nityananda had, but just very fancy. Not saying that every sannyasi who dresses fancy is doing that, but just so that people will just admire them, or people may walk around. I remember I used to walk around with a danda when I was a young sannyasi, which is not practical now, because when I used to travel, go overseas, they would unravel it when I went through customs to see if I had any drugs inside. So I would come out of customs with this long strip of cloth, like 100 meters long, and 4 sticks in my hand, bamboo sticks in my hand, so it didn't work. So anyway, so there's a tendency, I've experienced that, I'm just revealing my mind, tendency to be very proud of my renunciation. I'm so renounced, I can sleep on the floor, I can eat very little, look at me, like that. The other day, there was a little tear in the back of my shirt, and the devotee said, you got to change it. I said, no, I'm a sannyasi. So, yeah, it's true. We actually get proud of any damn thing that we have. You know, intelligence, whatever. Beauty, fame, renunciation, strength. I can't be proud of that anymore. Anyway, so it's like that. I mean, even, yeah, sometimes I'm proud of it. Sometimes in the airport and there's some lady who needs her bag taken off of the rack overhead, and I just do it. Say, look at me, you know. So it's really addictive. So anyway, we become proud of any of these different opulences we have, and Queen Kunti talks about it. And this pride is actually very similar to the animals. What are they doing? They're fighting for supremacy. Just like if you've ever seen bulls. We're not so much removed from being bulls, are we? Bulls. Even the cows. You know, there's one lead cow and her, right, isn't it? New Taliban. And the bulls, you can put a bunch of bulls together. Or you put a bunch of monkeys together. You see this in Vrindavan. The monkeys, male monkeys especially, the females are more Krishna conscious. So the male monkeys, they fight with each other to see who can have the harem, right? And actually when the little baby monkeys grow up, the male baby monkeys grow up, they fight with their father to establish their supremacy and get rid of their father and take over the harem. So we don't realize that, you know, all these opulences are being borrowed from God. Mm-hmm. There was one famous radio announcer years ago who used to say, intelligence on loan from God. And really true. So everything is on loan. Our body is on loan. We don't own anything. You know, nirmana moha jita sangha osha avyatmanacha vinivreta kama. We have to become understanding that we don't own anything. Nothing. So, of course, things are given to us to use in Krishna's service, but it's our business to take care of them nicely. So business, just because you don't own the body doesn't mean you treat it like a piece of trash. You have to be very careful of your health, just like, you know, here I am bragging again. I'm very very careful of my health because I understand I have to take care of this body. The body belongs to Krishna. It's an instrument to be used in his service, just like I take care of my tools. I take care of my dhotis, or I have someone take care of the dhotis. So anyway, so the problem is becoming proud. And in chapter Divine and Demoniac Nature in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna states, Ishwaroham aham bhogi siroham balavan sukhi. So this is our mentality. We're the controller, we're the center. We want attention. Nobody loves me anymore. Nobody pays attention. And so many things we do throughout the day. I mean, it's important to be introspective enough to understand that so many things we do throughout the day are attempts to get attention and, you know, our pride. What the pride means because of our insecurity. Why do we want to get attention? This is an interesting psychological fact. Why do we want attention? Because we're insecure. We feel bad if no one pays me attention. I walk into the room and no one pays me any attention, right? Because our insecurity. But Krishna's paying us attention at every moment, isn't it? Krishna's in our heart, you know. Ishwara sarvabhutanam hridesha arjuna tishde. And he's giving us intelligence, remembrance, and forgetfulness. Krishna loves us. So why do we want attention? Why do we want to establish our superiority over others? Very bad. And so this is animal propensity. You understand? It's an animal propensity. And, you know, profit, adoration, distinction, which is subtle sex life. So, anyway, I want to give some examples of people who succumbed to this concept of false pride or became intoxicated by their position and thinking their position belonged to them. Of course, one example is King Indra. I don't think we need to go through the whole Govardhan story right here. King Indra was very, very proud of his position and was thinking, why are they worshiping this little puffed up child, Krishna? Of course, Lord Brahma also fell into the same illusion, this impudent boy. And so he stole the calves and the cowherd boys. Another example from the Shastras, I noted down quite a few examples, is your friend Daksha. Daksha, the word Daksha means someone who's very, very expert. So he was expert. Of course, he was expert Prajapati too, and having babies. Actually, even had 10,000 at one time. That's pretty good. So 10,000, of course, he lost out because, the universe gained, because Narada Muni convinced them to be sannyasis, and then he had 1,000, and Narada Muni convinced them to be sannyasis too. And then he cursed Narada Muni because Narada Muni saved his sons. Can you imagine that? Like Prabhupada also said he was cursed by the parents of his disciples to never be able to reside in one place. Daksha also cursed Narada Muni in the same way. So you see that, parents should be very happy if their children become devotees or pure devotees of the Lord. But they want to enjoy vicarious enjoyment through the sense gratificatory activities of their children, isn't it? Children become rich and famous, marry a beautiful wife or something like that. And the parents are enjoying in this particular way, vicarious enjoyment, anyway, through others. So Daksha was like that. Daksha also made the mistake of offending Lord Shiva because he was proud of his position. He wouldn't get up and offer obeisances to Lord Shiva. And so Daksha had some problems there. Another story of someone who became attached because of his material opulence was Nahusha. Nahusha was appointed to be Indra, in Indra's position, when Indra had to take a vacation because of some problems. And Nahusha became so attached that he demanded that Indra's wife would become his wife. And she took shelter, Brahaspati. Brahaspati said, maybe you should agree with Nahusha and just say that you will marry him if he comes to see you seated on a palanquin carried by the Saptarishis. So she told that to Nahusha. Nahusha mounted the palanquin, and he actually kicked, I think it was Agastya Rishi. And he was cursed, and he fell down because of that false pride in his position. And another example, which I didn't note down here, is Ramaharshana Sutta. Ramaharshana Sutta was preaching the Bhagavatam, giving Bhagavatam class. And who walks in but Balaram? And he didn't offer obeisances. You imagine if I'm giving class here and Balaram would walk in, well, I'd probably faint. He wouldn't even have to think about it. I just like, Balaram, sit down for a few minutes. I'm giving Bhagavatam class. I'm the guru, whatever. And so that's pride in one's learning, one's education. So you see, this pride, such a dangerous, it's poison. It's poison. It settles sex life. And then, of course, that's pride in position. And then we have some examples here of pride in wealth and opulence. Of course, Manigriva and Nalakuvara. They were proud of their position of being the sons of Kuvera. And, of course, proud of their wealth, too. And they offended Narada Muni by walking around naked in front of him. And so they got cursed. Even the kings that were mentioned in the previous chapter, the 20,000, whatever, 800 kings, they were proud of their particular position. Of course, Krishna rectified them. And Duryodhana was proud of his position. And so these are examples of pride in position. And here's pride in beauty. Oh, here's an example of pride in beauty. Don't worry, I'm not going to criticize anyone in this room. So the story from the Krishna book is Vijayadhara, who was previously Sudarshana, a demigod who was very proud of his beauty, and he ridiculed this Astavakra Muni, who was bent in 8 places, for being ugly. And for that act, he was cursed to become a demon and assume the form of a lowly serpent until he was touched by Krishna's lotus feet. So you see this, all these examples of pride. And even it's mentioned, and it's not for me to criticize the gopis, but it's mentioned that the gopis became very proud of their position, thinking themselves to be the most fortunate women in the universe. And what did Krishna do? Disappeared. And even disappeared from Radharani. And so, pride arises. And then there's pride in what? Education and scholarship. An example is the ritualistic brahmanas who were asked by the coward boys for food for Krishna and Balaram. And these ritualistic brahmanas just ignored them, whereas their wives listened to the plea and delivered the prasadam, or the food, immediately to Krishna and Balaram. Another example of pride in learning is Balabhabata. Of course, those who are members of Pushti Marg don't like this story. Just like Sumati Morji. When she heard this story, that was written in the Back to Godhead magazine, she became very upset. What is the story of Balabhabata? Balabhabata, of course, became Balabhacharya, and he was the founder of the Pushti Marg. So Balabhabata, he was so proud that he criticized Sridhara Swami, the original commentator of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and he was criticized by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that you are acting like a prostitute because you're not obedient to the Swami, that is Sridhara Swami, who was the original commentator of the Bhagavatam. And ultimately, of course, he became humble and he accepted initiation from Gadadhar Pandit Goswami. But this particular story, the Vallabhites, or the members of Pushti Marg, don't appreciate that story. And another story of pride in learning is Keshava Kashmiri, who challenged Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to a debate, and of course he was soundly defeated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So anyway, there's so many examples. I don't have time to read through all these different examples of people who succumbed to pride and therefore either were corrected by Krishna or fell down or had some difficulty because of that. So anyway, let's get to a practical application, which we're supposed to do. What should we do? We have to cultivate humility. Of course, that's such a vague phrase, isn't it? Cultivate humility. How do you cultivate it? Well, humility, Trinadapi Nichena Throi Vasishana Manina Manadena Kirtaniya Siddhahri. So externally, we can cultivate humility by serving others. Not just serving superiors, and not just serving equals, but serving people who are lower on the, hope to use the expression, sorry to use the expression, totem pole hierarchy. By serving everyone. Amanina manadena. That's externally. But internally, to cultivate humility, at least I've come up with this particular strategy, we should be honest with ourselves about our fallen position. Big problem with many devotees, including myself, is that we think we're more than we actually are. We're more advanced than we actually are. We think, I came to Krishna consciousness because I was a great yogi. It says in the Bhagavad Gita, Shuchinam Shima Tangehi Yoga Brashta, that in the last life I was a great yogi, and somehow or other there was a little bit left to become Krishna conscious. I was already on the platform above. And then I joined, and that's why I'm here. Krishna should thank me for joining because I'm going to be an important part of this Krishna consciousness movement, so prominent. So instead we should think, I'm only here because of the mercy of Krishna. What is it? But by the grace of God, there go I. Only by the mercy of his divine grace, Srila Prabhupada. And that helps us approach people and preach to people with the proper mood. Not that I'm better than you. I was there where you're at right now. You understand? I was there. I mean, I was even lower. And so then you can really be compassionate. Like it's easy, like Prabhupada talks about this, easy for a poor man who's become rich to become compassionate to the poor people. I mean, you see so many people, I'm not going to mention any names because I'll get kicked out of the country, but so many people who were born into very rich families, they don't have an idea what it is to struggle. So when you struggle, and you don't have much and you're taking some boga out of the dumpsters or something like that, like we did in the beginning days of Krishna consciousness here, you can really appreciate and be compassionate to others. And when you understand, you think less of yourself instead of your, think of yourself less, sorry. But you also can understand your fallen condition. And even if you're not fallen, at least you should think like that. Even if you were or are a Nityasiddha devotee, at least you should think of yourself as fallen. And then you can actually really cultivate humility. So be honest with yourself. I often talk about this. Second thing, of course, time to end class, I listed these things. We should recognize our source of power. Power, prestige, intelligence, beauty, all these things. Third thing, whatever tribulation we're suffering from or have to endure, we should take that as Krishna's mercy, tate nakampam, shushamikshanam, understand that we're being punished for our past sinful activities, even if we're not, maybe it's just Krishna's arrangement. We should take it like that. That'll help us cultivate humility. And ultimately, of course, this is the most important thing, ultimately take shelter of Krishna's names and always be chanting Krishna's name. Kirtaniya Siddhahari. If we're always chanting Krishna's name, regardless of what we're doing, then it really helps us cultivate dependence on the holy name. As soon as we stop chanting, we become, at least me, we become thinking ourselves independent controllers, more important than we actually are. We lose our sense of humility. At least that's what I experience. So, we have to end class. So any questions, quick questions, or comments, or problems, or issues? You got 1 minute. Yeah. Yeah, Krishna cracks down. That's his mercy. And if he doesn't crack down on us, that means we're not so sincere. Sometimes Krishna lets someone just run with it for a whole lifetime before he actually cracks down. But it's Krishna's special mercy. Yashaham anugrinami harishe tadinam shadai. It's a special mercy when he does crack down on you. I'm not asking for it. Krishna, I know you can hear me. Don't want any special mercy today. I got enough. I think the deities can hear through the curtains, right? All right, we have to end. What's that? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, why should I get what other people think? That way, because I was tracing the source of our pride to insecurity, and so that'll help deal with that helps deal with the insecurity.
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvandam Maravindadalayatakam Bharavatam Samasitam Buddhasundarangam Kandar Bhagom Vikamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Antani Yasa Sakalen Priya Priti Manti Vasyan Vipan Vikayanti Giram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutare Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Namaniti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gurvani Vachar Nivesesha Shunyavare Pasyachati Satarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Krishna Chaitanya Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Golokanana, Radha Golokanana, Rakate. Radha Golokanana, Radha Golokanana, Radhe. Radhe, 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 Radhe. Radhe, 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 Radhe. Radhe. Jai Om Vishnu.
Thank God.
So we are planning on Harinam Sankirtan for those of you who are here on Saturday, 11:30 to 1, weather permitting. But I think Krishna will provide us a window in the rain, hopefully, to have our Harinam at Weaver Street Market here in town. Chaitodarpanam marjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam Shreyakairavya Chandrika Vitaranam. Thank you so much. Evanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipanam Pranamrita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahadan Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrapita Niyamita Smarane Nakala Etadrishita Vakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrishami Hajjani Nanuraga Trinadapi Sunichena Charorapi Suhishuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Vajagadisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmani Ishvare Bhavatad Bhaktir Hoitaki Twai Rainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddha Kripayata Vapada Pankaja Stita Duli Sajashim Vachintaya Nayanam Gadashu Daraya Varanam Gad Gadarudaya Gira Pulakarnishitam Vapukada Tavanamagrahane Bhavishyati Yugayatam Namishena Chakshusha Pravashayatam Shunayatam Jagat Sarvam Govindam Virahename Ashlishava Padamritam Anastumam Adarshanam. Thank you. Yatatatava Vidadatu Lampato Mat Prananatastusa Eva Napara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeat.